Every journey begins with a single step. I think we've all played Call of Duty Zombies. We've all made memories on Call of Duty Zombies. Often among Zombies fans, there is a discussion among them. What map has the greatest Zombies experience to offer? Some would say Derice, thinking that it offers the purest form of zombies in the most exciting and interesting way. Others would say something like Mob of the Dead, with its cinematic feel and storytelling all blended into immersive gameplay. Of course, it is widely accepted across the community that the greatest Zombies map of all time is Origins. There are obviously some people who disagree, but even they would probably have Origins at least in their top 5. One of the reasons that people love Origins so much is the quest inside of the map that takes zombies from being a simple survival horde mode and morphs it into something completely different, but ends up being the most exciting aspect of any Zombies map. It is for this reason that some hardcore players have decided to see how fast they can beat the Origins quest. While Origins isn't the only map that has an Easter egg within it, it is the most famous one to have one, and it is the most liked. Origins is one of the most intricate Zombies maps there is. With so many little things to improve on in every run, it has quite the interesting history. Very quickly, I'm just going to go over the Origins Easter egg for those who don't entirely remember how it goes, or for those who just have no idea what I'm talking about at all.
Turn on the power by activating the 6 generators around the map, build all 4 of the ancient stabs, then upgrade them to their ultimate versions. Fill up the 4 soul boxes in the middle area of the map in order to get the Thunder Fist, a superpowered punch that will now act as your melee. Acquire a stone tablet, cleanse it by getting some melee kills in the church, take it back to the first tank station, and charge the tablet with even more melee kills there, rewarding you with the G-Strike tactical grenades. Build and obtain a Maxis drone, unleash a horde of panzers and defeat them. This is done by putting the 4 ultimate stabs in corresponding places around the map, with 3 of them are in robots that move. Throw the G-Strike grenades onto the seal outside the map, release the Maxis drone, and a bunch of panzers will come out and you must defeat them. Get a zombie blood power up. This will alter your vision and allow you to see a glowing plane in the sky, similar to when you get the fire staff part. Shoot it down, you will receive the Maxis drone again. Upgrade the Thunder Fist by getting even more melee kills on the bottom of the excavation site. Go to the crazy place, put all 4 of the ultimate stabs in the pedestals there, get 100 kills inside there, release the Maxis drone, stand on the pedestal in the center, and then you will see the ending cutscene of the Origins Easter egg.
So that is all a lot, and I didn't even mention the actual process to build and upgrade each staff. I'm Big Citrus, and today let's look at all the skilled Zombies veterans who have managed to take something most would take hours to beat, and through clever strategy and high-octane dedication, have managed to make it look like a walk in the park. This first run we're going to be looking at today was done by Fox and Ravens on August 14th, 2015 in 1 hour, 27 minutes, and 57 seconds. A far cry from what would be world record today, this run was looked at as pretty good at the time. One thing we really gotta quickly get into before we discuss the overall speedrun itself is the mentality that people had at Origins speedrunning at this time, and mainly just zombie speedrunning overall. See, it wasn't the biggest thing to do around this time in the community. It was something people mostly did for fun, and was only seen to be done by the most hardcore Zombies veterans. Fox and Ravens himself says so in this run, and notes that this run could be much better, but he was happy with how he did. Considering there weren't a lot of Origins speedrunners at this time, the competition was not too aggressive. So, how did he get this world record run at the time? Well, I mean, there's not really anything super intricate about this run. If you were someone who knew very little about the Origins speedrun and decided just to guess on how it was done, you would probably get something along the lines of how Fox and Ravens actually did this run. This is done on the Black Ops 2 version of Origins. The reason for this is solely due to a glitch that is not in the Black Ops 3 remaster of Origins. There is basically a step after obtaining the upgraded stabs where you need to put them in corresponding robots, and remember, those giant robots move around the map pretty consistently and pretty randomly. Obviously, they are on a timer if you know what to look for, but it can still be very inconsistent when you're doing 1,000 other things in the middle of a high-octane speedrun. Sometime shortly after Origins' release on August 27th, 2013, a user by the name of Gunman683 discovered on September 10th that you could actually skip this entire step, which saves a lot of unfun and tedious things from this entire speedrun, because this step just ultimately isn't very fun and can take up a lot of time. This glitch essentially can save up to 20 minutes on the whole run, you know, give or take. But basically, all you do is you take the fire staff, only the fire staff, to the bottom of the excavation site, you put it in its little pedestal there 3 times, and you just take it out, and then you're done with the whole step, and then you can move on to the Unleash the Horde step with all the panzers that come out of the seal in the ground. Yeah, it's pretty great. So, 90 minutes for most people on Origins would be a very good time. There are certain Zombies players who could practice for years, and around a 90-minute Origins Easter egg speedrun would still be very good for them. So, it's not hard to see why this was the common world record time for most people, around the hour-and-a-half mark. So, how did Fox and Ravens get this world record? Well, mainly through just knowing actually what he needed to do and when. It sounds like a basic thing, but sometimes you can trip up on little things in the Origins Easter egg with so much to do that you kind of will just forget something, and that'll end up costing you a lot of time. Not forgetting something was considered actually being very optimal at the speedrun at this given time, was just simply good memorization and not forgetting things. And even then, Fox and Ravens forgot a few of the upgrade steps for the staves during this run, considering there's so much intricate puzzling that you have to remember. Of course, there were plenty of mistakes in Fox and Ravens speedrun. He got down very early on in the run. He missed the initial G-Strike throw onto the seal for the Unleash the Horde step. He was not able to shoot the glowing plane in the sky for the Skewer the Winged Beast step. People used to play it much safer in the Origins speedrun. Even leading up to the time before people got sub 1 hour, people would still opt to get Quick Revive and the Zombie Shield. Quick Revive is a 500-point perk that would allow you to get down once during a solo match and be revived. The reason most runners today won't go for the Zombie Shield is simply because it's similar to the parts that spawn for the staves. They are randomly generated, and you will have to go out of your way to grab them. Even if it might take a few seconds, that can waste you time. As well as you having to build it might also waste you time. There are also only 2 crafting tables on the map where you can build things. One is for the shield and one is for the Maxis drone. The Maxis drone is essential for the Easter egg, the Zombie Shield is not. There's a spot that is much closer to the general area of the map than the other crafting bench, and it would actually waste you a lot of time to use both of them, so it's better just to use the one for the item you actually need and that's closer to you. With lots of time to improve, it is no surprise that someone was able to quickly beat his run, even with the lack of Origins speedrunners at this time. On August 27, 2015, Peeps Nation would be able to do so. Another thing that speedrunners will often do to increase their overall, speed that Peeps does in this run, and Fox and Ravens did as well, is grab a perk called Stamina Up for 2,000 points. Stamina Up is simply a perk that allows you to sprint infinitely and allows you to sprint slightly faster. Obviously, this is going to be a great help. One thing that will really show you how much time could really be saved in the Origins speedrun was how bad this run was leading up to the last 20 whole minutes of it. Obviously, from looking at the time comparisons, he did not save too much time compared to Fox and Raven's run, saving less than a minute. Leading up to him actually upgrading all 4 of the Ancient Stab, he was doing very bad, mainly just due to a poor route. His route was very weird, by the way. He chose not to get any of the G-Strike grenades or the Thunder Fists until the very end of the run. Which, the second to last step of the Easter egg is upgrading the Thunder Fists, and the Thunder Fists only allow you to do a one-hit melee kill up until round 20-ish. So, he was well past that at this point in the run, so it was weird that he chose to do this, but hey, he got world record. This weird and controversial route would actually be something that speedrunners at this time would use after this run, but it would quickly die out afterwards. There are special Templar zombies that'll come every few rounds after you turn all 6 generators on, similar to the Panzer in a way, that will actually go and take the generators offline. And remember, having all generators on is required to beat the Easter egg, so them taking it down is obviously a huge problem. The only way to stop them is simply just to go when they're taking it down and kill them all. Having this happen in the middle of a really good run can be extremely infuriating, and thankfully Peeps did not get too bad luck with this in this run, and overall in this run, I think he just got a lot luckier with certain things than Fox and Ravens did in terms of spawns and just overall zombies. So I think that definitely contributed to his world record, considering his poor optimization for the time and poor route. So for a month, Peeps' record stood, and for the most part, it was pretty standard. But then, suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, this happened. On September 20th of 2015, Plasmid Jeff completed a run, clocking in at 1 hour, 10 minutes, and 57 seconds. This was unbelievable to people at the time, considering how dead the Origin speedrunning and just the zombie speedrunning community was in general. This came as a massive shock to literally everyone. So, were there any new crazy glitches discovered? Any new strats? Not necessarily. I told you during the sections where we talked about Peeps and Fox and Raven's run that there was much left to improve on and plenty of mistakes despite how well their memorization and overall skill was. Yeah, there was tons of room for improvement. In fact, when you look back and compare this run to theirs, it's easy to see how Plasmid Jeff was able to crush it and almost shave a whole 15 minutes off of the run. In this run, he actually uses the Ice Staff instead of the Fire Staff, which was considered the meta, and for the foreseeable future, most speedrunners will choose to use the Ice Staff and keep it for the majority of the run. Similar to others, he chooses just to get the MP40 and upgrade it later on, and overall, his memorization was better than previous speedrunners, and there it was, the first Origin speedrun to be completed without the player getting a single down throughout. This obviously was the start of the evolution of Origins. As good as this run was for the time, it was definitely not perfect, and today it wouldn't even be a top 10 on the leaderboard. But at the time, this run was revolutionary and inspired people, and showed them that there was so much more we needed to do. It seemed Origins was starting to become a battle of the all-time great zombies players. YouTubers even stepped in trying to put their 2 cents in the Origins speedrunning community, and seeing what they could do. Some of them were even able to get on the top 10 leaderboard, and definitely this is the point where it started to become popular to speedrun this map. On December 4th of 2015, Rockstrong was able to get 1 hour, 9 minutes, and 7 seconds. Not a huge improvement on Jeff's run, but it was definitely something impressive. I believe the main reason that he got this was simply just due to a few new tricks. He had similar luck to Plasmid Jeff's run and similar optimization, but there were a few extra things he did that I believe definitely sped up the process. He even got to the upgrading staff section slower. Claymores are actually bought and used to help kill zombies, specifically the Panzer Soldat. See, 2 claymores will kill a Panzer Soldat at basically any point in the earlier rounds of the game, so they are seen as very efficient. As well as they're just pretty good at killing zombies, and they only cost 1,000 points. There was also another trick that Rockstrong used in this run that would change Origins forever. And that would be the Boom Hilda. See, the Mauser is the starter pistol that you start with at the beginning of every round. for free. It's pretty trash. The unupgraded version is not meant to kill anything, and that's fine. It's just a gun that you're meant to have at the start that is meant to do baby pew pew little piss baby damage, and that is exactly what it does. But when you upgrade this bad boy, it becomes something similar to the Ray Gun Mark II. It is very good shooting these little laser-like projectiles that do massive damage, especially to panzers, and it is really good. Considering you always start with it, it's a good choice because you don't have to luck into getting it and you don't have to spend any points to get it either. So basically, this is what people call the Zoom Hilda strat. People figured out that if you jump and spam shooting it at the ground, you'll be able to give yourself a bit of a momentum boost going backwards. With the use of the Zoom Hilda strat, you're able to do many things, like just, you know, go really fast and, you know, look really cool, but most importantly, you're able to get over ledges that you would not be able to get over without the added momentum. This is used in a few spots throughout the speedrun, like to more quickly get the lightning staff parts. I believe the Zoom Hilda and the claymores were enough to be able to shave off almost 2 minutes of Plasmid Jeff's run, but there was still plenty of work to be done. With the benefit of hindsight, it's a bit strange to see how long Roxwrong's record stood for. It stood for over a year, which was actually kind of crazy, because Origins was being pretty frequently speedrunned at this time, but his run just seemed to be the best anyone could get. Most people couldn't even beat Plasmid Jeff's time. After a time that seemed to be forever, on December 10th of 2016, Jedi King got an hour, 2 minutes, and 54 seconds Origin speedrun. Almost 7 whole minutes off the record.
World record! World record! Yes!
Most of the reason that he got this world record was simply just due to the fact that there was so much time to still be saved in terms of better luck and better optimization. He used pretty much the same route and the exact same strategy as everyone else, but his multitasking was much more efficient. He didn't have any memorization mistakes, but again, even looking at Jedi King's run, there was still time to be saved. Enter Starburst. Starburst is probably one of the most notorious zombie speedrunners slash challenge people there is in the community, and he is incredibly well known and well respected. Just 2 weeks later, on December 18th, 2016, he was able to beat Jedi King's record, and he got an hour and 54 seconds.
I did it. Oh my god, finally, yes.
Did you do it?
By 2 minutes.
Woo!
People could taste it. People could literally smell it. It was literally inside of their nostrils. People could see it coming. The sub-hour run of Origins. Through the events of Jedi King's run 1 year after Roxwrong's long-standing record, and then Starburst's run beating that just 2 weeks later, people were starting to truly realize that not only did you have to be good, not only did you have to be great, you had to be the best zombies player. And people were slowly starting to realize that skill was not everything in this run. At a first glance, luck doesn't seem to play the world's biggest factor, since you have so many opportunities to do certain things at certain times, but if you're actually trying to beat it in under an hour, there is no way you're going to get a world record unless everything is in your favor. Similar to Plasmid Jeff and Roxwrong, Starburst and Jedi King set the golden standard for the Origin speedrun at the time, and that record remained for over a year. It wasn't like the Origin speedrunning community was dead at this point or anything. People definitely tried to beat it, they just really weren't able to. On April 29th of 2017, Bladen arrived. Bladen at this point is known as one of the prominent figureheads of the Origin speedrun, definitely up there on the Mount Rushmore of the Origin speedrunning community. Throughout this time, he's created several routes and strategies along with other people to definitely speed up the world record of Origins. On April 29th, 2017, Bladen was able to secure a 55:05, almost 6 minutes off of the record and done in under 1 hour. And it is with this run that there started to be no room for mistakes in the Origins speedrun. If you look throughout this run even, there is very little that Bladen does wrong. He's not using the most optimal strategies and the most optimal routes, but he's playing it pretty perfectly for the most part, and luck is definitely on his side throughout. Upgrading all the stabs essentially needs to be done in 40 minutes or less at this point to actually secure a world record. On May 7th of 2017, again, Bladen was able to secure a 53:33. On this run, he had a much better start in terms of optimization and luck compared to his previous run. In my opinion, this ultimately led to the world record. But of course, in each individual split of the run, there is still a lot of time that could be saved. Bladen absolutely crushing his previous world record definitely brought him back to the community. So, on May 23rd of 2017, Starburst got a 52:53. This was, simply put, just incredible. Bladen already showed us that you need to be perfect and you need to be the luckiest to actually get a world record now, and Starburst put that to the test. I think at this specific point, at this specific time in history, this was really the best run anyone could get using this route and with these strategies. This run was, simply put, the peak of Origins to most people. Origins beaten in under 53 minutes. Does it get better than that? You know the answer. And so that was the case, it seemed. 52:53 by Starburst after the insane improvements Bladen made on the record. That seemed to just be it. For over a year, everyone was perfectly content with that record. Well, not everyone. Enter Yoma. Yoma at this point is one of the main top tier speedrunners we see still running Origins today, and at this point he is probably known as the most influential person to the modern run. After so many hours of grinding and so many tears shed, on May 13th of 2018, he was able to finally beat Starburst's record. With a 52:27, he was the happiest man in the world. Starburst's record was finally dead.
I did it! I did it! I did it! I did it! I fucking did it! We did it, chat! We fucking did it! We did it!
But 52:27, huh? Really? Only 26 seconds could be shaved off of the record? Really? I don't know, that just didn't seem right to most people. He had a slightly different route than Starburst and Bladen did, and I think this is what led to his record, and it was ultimately superior. At this point, the Origins speedrun became kind of dead. This was mainly just due to the zombies community at this point being kind of dead. Black Ops 4 came out later in the year, and no one really liked it. It did not necessarily do well, and it really put a divide in the community, one like we've never seen before. So, for almost 2 years, the Yoma's run stood until one brave challenger would finally beat it. It was Yoma. So, after 2 years, after the longest gap between world records we've ever seen in Call of Duty Zombies, what was the new... a whole 4 seconds faster. He used the exact same route, pretty much did the exact same stuff, and yeah, he just shaved a little bit off the little mistakes and slow hesitations throughout the run, and was able to get 4 seconds faster. Not really much to say about this one, but this world record actually spawned the current Origins speedrunning community as we've seen it today. Yoma proving that he could beat his own record, I believe, single-handedly revived the current Origins speedrunning community, and has led to the golden age that we're seeing right now. On March 16th of 2020, he was able to get a 51:28.
Let's fucking go. Dude, I'm the first person to ever get a sub 52. Chat, I am the first person to ever get a 51.
If almost every little thing and every major thing did not go right for you, you were not getting a world record. If you didn't get perfect luck at the start with the Thor robot coming for the wind part and the snow rounds, it's an automatic reset. If you do not get the right robot foot for the Unleash the Horde step, it's an automatic reset. If you get insanely bad luck with the Templar zombies that come to take the generators offline, it's an automatic reset. Essentially, over the course of 2020, 4 speedrunners would be battling it out over the world record, trading it back and forth. Those would be Mikey0006, Yoma, Bladen, and Uncle Tima. With Yoma's run being so close to the sub 50, people were starting to chase. And on May 8th of 2020, Mikey006 was able to get the 48-14.
Please. Done! Oh, I did it.
I just never thought that Origins would actually be beaten in under 50 minutes. When I knew the record was like 90 minutes, that was insane to me and most people. And seeing it slowly get closer to the hour mark was insane. Watching it go all the way down to 52 minutes was insane. And I just couldn't believe any of it. And at this point, nothing surprises me after this. This world record makes use of the route created by Bladen. I will have a link to it in the description, and it will tell you a lot that you need to know about the Origins speedrun if I didn't already say in this video. If you're interested in the run at all and want to see how people do it right now, what they used to get the world record, I highly suggest reading it after this video. With perfect optimization and use of the new route, this run was insane. He was able to upgrade the stabs almost 3 whole minutes faster, and everything else was just as good, and time was saved at almost every spot. I don't even think Mikey was expecting this world record. You could definitely hear how shaky he was in his voice. This proved that the route created by Bladen was for sure better, and of course, there was still more work to do. On May 24th of 2020, Bladen was finally able to make use of his own route and get a 46-40.
I almost walked into that because like the fucking electric camo and the zombies. I'm grabbing that. Fuck. That was fucking close, dude. Just go up, Maxis, please. There we go. Fucking finally, dude.
This is essentially in the point of the Origins speedrun where it is almost perfectly optimized. I know some people may debate with me on that, but in my opinion, there's really not a lot of places to save time. There's not a lot that optimization can do you, and there's not a lot that luck can do you. If you don't have the best of both worlds, you are not getting anywhere near close to a world record, and the only way time can be brought down is with the use of a new skip that was discovered, but we will get to that later. And it became a race to see who could push Origins below the 46-minute mark. For, at the moment at least, his last world record, Yoma pushed out a 45-13 on July 18th of 2020. This run did just about everything that Bladen's run did. In every single split, he had very similar times, with only small differences throughout. But his raise hell was just amazing. When you get to this very last step, you can get very unlucky with zombie spawns and the round ending at the wrong time. It would of course be preferred to get a very large stream of zombies coming to you as soon as you enter this place and not having to end the round, so there's this big, 15-second delay, and of course not dying. This section is incredibly tricky just due to how close quarters the crazy place is, and the fact that you're not entirely 100% set up for this and you can't use any of the stabs as they're sitting in their pedestal. This step is probably the most skillful step in the entire Origins Easter egg, as well as the speedrun, and anytime you get to the step in any speedrun, your heart is pumping just because you know that it can end at any moment. Yoma's particular raise hell here was probably the best we've ever seen in a speedrun up to date. Yoma's raise hell here was probably the best we've seen today, except for maybe the current world record, but it was proven that at this point, Everything was incredibly optimized. It was insane to see the Origin speedrun getting closer and closer to the 40-minute mark. On July 19th of 2020, Blaine got a 45:06. This run is insanely optimized, similar to the previous records, and he did everything just about as well as Yoma did, if not a little better, but he got much better luck on Rain Fire, which allowed him to save the 7 seconds and get a world record. When you look at all the splits in Bladen's run, at this point, it seems pretty unbeatable. Yeah, 45:06, that seems pretty much the best. When you analyze this run from a perspective of just seeing like how well you could do in terms of just like actual realistic luck and everything, 45:06 really seems like the best you can do if you add up all the splits. But of course, there is one massive factor of luck that has not even been considered in any world record run up to this point, and that would lead us to today. The mystery box.
Was?
Du hast mich gesplittet.
Doch, mein Null-Split ist der richtige.
This run has everything. Zoom Hilda abuse. Check. Perfect luck. Check. Precise zombie killing without even a moment of hesitation. Check. On July 31st of 2020, Uncle Tima would get a 43:33, which is where the current Origins world record stands today. So this run was obviously very good and insanely optimized, similar to the previous speedruns, and there are little sections where he definitely got better luck and did better, but there is one main thing that made the key difference in the speedrun, and that was the Galil. The Galil is a very strong, high ammo, high damage assault rifle that can be gotten out of the mystery box. The mystery box is an object around the map on Origins that can be purchased for 950 points and will give you a random weapon out of the assorted weapons that lie within. There are a lot of bad guns in the mystery box, there are a lot of good guns in the mystery box, and the Galil is definitely one of the best. With high damage, high magazine, good reload, good ammo, it is a very, very, very sought after gun, and considering you really only have one shot to get the dream gun for the run, it is very, very fortunate that he managed to get the Galil. One nice thing about using the mystery box and getting a really good gun out of it is it actually will save you a bit of points. Most people opt to buy the MP40 or the AK-74U, which costs 1300 points, when the mystery box only costs 950. The Galil is just a much better weapon compared to the MP40 or the STG or the AK-74U. So getting this and being able to play as well as everyone else would definitely lead you to a world record, and that is where the record stands today, with the same luck and optimization as the speedruns before him, but perhaps just a bit better, and the inclusion of the very strong weapon known as the Galil throughout this run, he was able to just make it that much faster. With Origins, it became a journey of discovering the best way to do things, and who was the best at doing them in that way. Origins has had quite the interesting history. With most speedruns, it usually comes down to some crazy new glitches being discovered, and that is the reason the time will actually go lower, since the runs usually end up becoming very optimized. To the average player, speedruns look insane, and to even some speedrunners, the world record times that have been gotten over the years look also unbelievable. But there is one last thing I want to go over before I wrap this video up, is how much time can currently be saved. I'll try and make this as clear and concise and as quick as I can. So, let's take a look at where Uncle Tima lost some time throughout his run and what could have been done better, and determine what the current world record could possibly be at its very best.
So, like I was saying before, him getting the Galil out of the box was a godsend and definitely led to his world record. But are there any guns in the box that would actually be better than the Galil? There is literally a few options that would have been better, so let's go over them. Most people would immediately think of the ray gun and ray gun Mark II, and yes, those would be the best options given their damage and their ammo. They are able to absolutely rip through panzers and make common zombies look like an absolute joke, especially in the earlier rounds. They are pretty rare to get, so it would require a lot of luck to even get them, but even then, we're not going to want them for this. See, when upgrading the ice staff, one of the steps involved is shooting 3 tombstones with the ice staff and then swapping to a normal bullet gun and shooting them to destroy them. Heard what I just said? Normal bullet gun, which the ray gun Mark II, the ray gun, and the upgraded Mauser are not. What is more probable are the 2 bullet guns that are actually better than the Galil that you can get out of the box, those being the Hammer LMG and the MG08 LMG. You can argue on which one of these is better. The MG08 is better, but at the end of the day, they'll just do about the same job. They do more damage than the Galil and have more ammo. Oh, and also a higher magazine, which means less reloading, which is a big help. I added all the time up, and I'm not even joking, it only adds to about 10 seconds. So let's say you got the MG08 or the Hammer, better gun, and did everything else the same, you'd save 10 seconds, but there's a few more spots where you can save time. At the very beginning of the run, he actually had to go to Gen 3 to get the right robot foot for the wind staff part, which cost him literally like 1 second. By the time he went to go build the ice staff part, he did not have all 3 parts, which caused him to search for a dig spot. Even then, he got insanely lucky, and there was one right there. He digged up, he got the ice staff part, but let's say this just cost him another second. He's turning on Generator 4, he hits the Wonder Fizz. The Wonder Fizz is a machine that'll give you a random perk on the map for 1,500 points. And he got PhD Flopper, which is probably the worst perk he could have gotten. PhD Flopper is a perk that grants you immunity to fall damage and explosive damage, and if you do a dolphin dive, it'll create an explosive blast. He does not use the explosive blast throughout the run at all in any helpful way, and explosive immunity and fall damage immunity don't really help either. Literally any other perk he could have gotten would have been a better option, i.e. saving him time having to buy a perk he needed anyways later, or just speeding up the process of killing zombies altogether. He pauses a few times throughout the run, and in total I would say it loses him about 3 seconds. I'm guessing he had very good reasons to pause, but let's say you didn't pause and you didn't have to, you could save about 3 seconds. I'm not necessarily sure the origin or discovery of this trick, but it will be referred to as missile skip. For the rain fire step, where all the panzers come out of the seal that you blow up with a G-Strike grenade, you should have to go into the robot, press the red button, jump out of it, then throw the G-Strike grenade, then throw the max. If you're precise enough, you can actually throw the G-Strike grenade as you are about to enter the robot's foot, so by the time you go inside, press the red button, then exit, all you have to do is throw the Maxis drone, and the missiles shooting at it will have already been. This can save about 40 seconds from a speedrun, so it is obviously very advantageous to attempt doing. Only one run has actually had this skip been used that was world record, and that was Bladen's 4506.
So, you add all of that time up, and it gets you exactly 1 minute. Meaning the best time that you could get on Origins with the best possible luck, best possible optimization, best possible memorization, best possible everything would be 42 minutes and 33 seconds. Do I personally think that we will ever see a 42-33 in our lifetime? No, I just don't think it's possible. Without the discovery of new glitches or a new route, I just don't think it's possible. I think within the next year, we might see his run be beaten by 2 or 3 seconds, but that's about it. People have been studying Origins and the best route to take on it for literally almost 7 years, so I just don't see it happening. 43 minutes and 33 seconds by Uncle Tima. Black Ops 2 Solo Origins Easter egg speedrun world record. What a journey. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I spent literally a month straight working on this. I'm so excited for Black Ops Cold War Zombies. I'm going to be having more videos like this coming out, especially for the new game on my channel. If you guys could please subscribe, it would literally mean the world to me. Leave a like, comment anything, share this with your friends. Being a small YouTuber and taking on a project like this was a bit risky, just considering how essential it is to need to upload a lot to grow, but I wanted to do this video and I've had such a great time working on it. I will post all of the people who are featured in this video, anyone who helped me with it, in the description below. I'll post any links that I cited for this in the description below. If you have any questions, please message me. I have a community Discord that I just launched and everything, and feel free to join that and talk to me there, and I cannot wait for this new game and the journey that we will embark on. Thank you so much for watching. Also, reaction channels, feel free to post this. None of the music in this video should be copyrighted. I really don't care if you watch it or not. Just give me a credit. Just give me some credit, of course, and thank you so much. Tell them to subscribe. I need the subscribers. I'm very greedy. I'm joking.